My name is Grant Holloway. I was 61 when my own son told me to leave my mountain home, or make room for strangers. I had just retired. No noise, no deadlines, just wind through the trees and the quiet rhythm of mornings that belonged to me again. That house wasn't just a place. I built it, every beam, every stone, with my own hands. It was the one thing in my life no one could take. Or so I thought. The call came late. "Dad," he said like it was nothing, "my in-laws are going to stay with you for a while." I didn't speak, just listened. "If you don't like it, you can go back to the city." Simple. Clean. Like I was the guest in my own life. I didn't argue, didn't raise my voice, didn't remind him whose house it was. Because arguments only help people feel justified. Silence makes them comfortable, and comfortable people don't prepare. "All right," I said. He sounded relieved. "Good. They'll be there this weekend."
I ended the call, walked outside, looked at the mountains, still calm, still mine. Then I turned back toward the house and smiled slightly, because by the time they arrived, it wouldn't be the home they thought they were coming to. It would be something else entirely. I didn't rush anything, didn't pack, didn't leave. I stayed exactly where I was, drinking my coffee on the porch like every other morning, because the trick isn't reacting, it's preparing quietly. I walked through the house slowly, room by room, not looking at what was there, but what they expected to find. Comfort, warmth, access. That's what people like them assume. I opened the kitchen cabinets, half empty, left only what I needed. Everything else, gone. Not destroyed, just removed. Same with the pantry, same with the tools. Anything that made life easy, disappeared. Upstairs, I changed the locks, not on the front door. That would have been obvious. The interior doors, rooms they didn't need, spaces they weren't welcome in. I left one bedroom open, just one, enough to make a point without saying a word. Outside, I walked the property line, checked the generator, fuel levels adjusted, not off, just limited. Water system, same idea, functioning, but not generous. I wasn't pushing them out. I was removing comfort. Because people don't leave when they're told. They leave when staying becomes work. That evening, I got another message from my son. They're excited. I looked at the screen, then set it down. Because excitement never survives reality. They arrived Saturday afternoon. SUV, overpacked, loud, the kind of arrival that assumes space will adjust to them. I stayed on the porch, didn't go down to greet them, let them walk up, let them see me exactly where I belonged. The man stepped out first. Mid-50s, confident, already scanning the place like it was his. His wife followed, complaining about the drive before her feet even hit the ground. Good. They were already uncomfortable. "Grant," he called out. I nodded once. "That's right." He smiled. Too wide. "We're family now," he said. I didn't respond, just watched. Because people reveal themselves when they fill silence. His wife walked past him, didn't even look at me, just headed straight for the door, like she'd been there before, like it was hers. She opened it, stepped inside, then stopped, just inside the doorway. "What is this?" she said, not angry, confused. That's better, because confusion turns into frustration faster. The man walked in after her, then he stopped too, longer this time. Silence stretched, heavy. Then he turned slightly, looked back at me. Different expression now. "What did you do?" he asked. I stayed where I was, calm, unmoved, and said the only thing that mattered. I didn't do anything. Then I paused, just long enough for it to land. I just stopped making it easy. They didn't like that answer. You could see it immediately. The man, Harold, I learned, Walked back outside, tried to reset the tone. "This isn't funny," he said. I sipped my coffee, never broke eye contact. "I'm not laughing." That bothered him more, because he needed reaction. People like him always do. Inside, his wife was opening cabinets, doors, drawers, one after another, each one emptier than the last. "What kind of house is this?" she shouted. I didn't raise my voice. "The kind that runs on effort," I replied. Harold exhaled sharply. "We were told we'd be staying here," he said. "You are," I answered. "That doesn't look like staying," he snapped. I nodded toward the door. "It does if you don't confuse comfort with permission." Silence. Tight. Uncomfortable. That's where truth lives. He stepped closer, trying to reclaim ground. "Your son said this would be temporary," he said. "My son says a lot of things," I replied. That landed, because now he understood. My son didn't control anything here. Not this place. Not me. Inside, something clattered. His wife again. Frustration building. Good. Because pressure reveals character, and I needed to see exactly how far they'd go before they realized they weren't in control of anything at all. By evening, the complaints started turning into demands. Water pressure, food, heat. All the small things people never think about until they're gone. Harold came out again, slower this time, less confident. "We need supplies," he said. "There's nothing in there." I nodded. "There's enough for me." "That's not the point," he snapped. "It is," I replied. Silence. He didn't like that. Inside, his wife raised her voice again. "This place barely works." I stood up slowly, not to confront, just to move. Walked past him, into the house. They followed. Of course they did. People always follow the one who understands the system. I opened the cabinet, pulled out a single plate, set it on the counter, then another. 2, not 3, not 4, 2. His wife noticed immediately. "What about us?" she asked. I looked at her, calm, steady. "You're here temporarily," I said. She frowned. "That doesn't mean—" "It means," I cut in gently, "you adjust." Silence again. Heavy. Because they were starting to feel it now. Not rejection. Not yet. Discomfort. And discomfort turns into exit faster than arguments ever will. Harold exhaled slowly. "This isn't going to work," he said. I nodded once. "I know." That confused him, because he thought I was going to resist. But I wasn't. I was waiting. Because the moment they realized it themselves was the moment they would leave. That night was quiet. Too quiet. No TV. No music. Just the sound of discomfort settling in. Around midnight, I heard movement. Soft steps. Doors opening, closing. Harold, checking things, looking for something he thought I missed. I didn't move, just listened, because people don't accept limits. They test them. A few minutes later, he tried the back door, locked. Then the storage room, locked. Then the generator panel outside. That's when I stepped out. "You won't find anything extra," I said. He turned quickly, didn't expect me. "Just making sure everything works," he muttered. I nodded. "It does," I replied. "Exactly how I want it to." Silence. Cold air between us. "You planned this," he said. Not a question. A realization. I didn't deny it, didn't confirm it either, because truth doesn't need explanation. "It's my house," I said simply. That was enough, because now he understood. This wasn't inconvenience. It was design. He looked back at the dark house, then at me. Different expression now. Less control, more calculation. "We'll talk to your son," he said. I almost smiled. "You can try." He didn't respond, because deep down, he already knew. This wasn't a situation you fix with a phone call. This was something you either adapt to or walk away from. Morning came early for them. not by choice. The generator cut to half output at sunrise, just enough power to run basics, not enough for comfort. No heated floors, no long showers, no easy coffee. I sat on the porch again, same chair, same view, different energy behind me. The door opened hard. His wife stepped out first, tired, frustrated. "This is ridiculous," she said. "We can't live like this." I didn't respond. Harold followed, quieter now, measured. "You made your point," he said. "There's no need to keep this up." I looked at him. "There was never a point," I replied. "That's not true," he snapped. "You're pushing us out." I shook my head slightly. "No," I said. "I removed what you didn't earn." Silence. That one stayed. Because people understand effort, even if they don't respect it. His wife crossed her arms. "This isn't how family treats each other," she said. I nodded once. "You're right." That confused her. Then I added, "This is how owners treat guests." That landed harder than anything else, because now they understood their position. Not equal, not permanent, just temporary. And temporary people don't stay where they're not comfortable. Harold exhaled slowly, looked at the house, then back at me. "We're leaving," he said. I didn't stop them, didn't argue, just nodded. Because the best kind of control is the kind that doesn't need to hold anyone in place. They were packed within an hour. No more arguments, no more demands, just quiet movement. Heavy footsteps, closed bags, the kind of silence that comes when people realize they misjudged everything. I stayed on the porch, didn't help, didn't rush them, just watched, because leaving should feel like a decision, not a push. Harold walked up to me before getting into the car. Different man now, less certain, less loud. "You could have just said no," he muttered. I looked at him, calm. "I did," I replied. He frowned. "No, you didn't." I nodded once. I just didn't say it out loud. That stayed with him. You could see it. Because sometimes the strongest answer isn't spoken, it's lived. His wife didn't say a word, didn't look at me, just got in the car. Door shut harder than it needed to. Then they were gone. Dust settling behind them, silence returning, the mountains unchanged. I sat back in my chair, exhaled slowly, reached for my phone. One message from my son. "Why did they leave?" I stared at it for a second, then typed back. "They realized it wasn't their house." I set the phone down, looked out at the trees again. Because peace doesn't come from arguing. It comes from knowing exactly what's yours and refusing to give it away.